Hello everybody, welcome to my Uncharted 1 Drake's Fortune collectibles guide. I will be showing you where to get all 61 treasures in the game. I am doing this on the remastered version. I imagine the treasures are the same on the original, but I don't know that for sure because I never played the original. I'll try and do it with as few spoilers as possible, but with where some of the treasures are in this game, that may or may not happen depending on what you consider a spoiler. So the first one we're going for is in Chapter 2. There's none in Chapter 1. And you'll be following Sully down this river. Once you get to this part here, where you get in between these two rocks and you see the waterfall when you come out the other side, take a left and it will be sitting on this rock right here. And that's where you get your silver mosaic Inca earring. The next treasure is in this section here where you have to climb up and around. Once you jump off of that longer rock there onto this one, you're supposed to go right to continue the game. If you go left though and jump to the platform where this tree is, you will find your next treasure, which is the jeweled silver monkey. The next treasure we're going for is in this section here. It's right after a cutscene and you're supposed to be finding a way across the ravine. Before you do that though, head to the left side of it and just edge around the corner and you will find your decorated gold ring. The next treasure is right after you climb out of this pit of water here. Just go straight ahead and take the right hand path, which is a very short dead end, to find the silver llama. Next treasure we're going for, after the cutscene where Nate and Sully inspect that hole in the wall there, turn around and go back towards the entrance of the room, and on the right hand side is a skeleton holding on to the golden Inca cup. Next treasure, once you exit the temple and you find yourself in this area here, just start climbing up the stone things. You don't have to do this to progress. You just have to take that path there, but if you climb up them and make it all the way over to the final one, which isn't all that hard, you will find yourself the silver turtle. The next treasure we're going for is in Chapter 3. You will find yourself climbing these cliffs almost immediately. Once you jump out of the shade and into the light, don't swing on that rope, climb to the top of it instead, or vine, I guess it is. And just to the left will be the gold Tyrona pendant. The next treasure, once you make it on top of the submarine here, you're supposed to climb up there to go into the hatch. Instead of doing that, first run past it and all the way to the front of the ship. And this one here, you might actually see in the cutscene where it reveals that this is here, because it does blink away during that. But at the very front is the gold and turquoise Inca earring. Next treasure we're going for is in Chapter 4, Plane Wrecked. At the very beginning of the chapter, you'll find yourself next to this statue here. Just turn around and hop over the wall and go into like the jungle area here, and you will find the silver Inca figurine. Next treasure, not very much further ahead than the last one. You'll come to this waterfall here with the small pool. Head to the left of it, towards this tree here, and in the long grass next to it, you will find the silver fish jar. Next treasure, once again, not very far ahead. You'll come to this point here where you'll climb up and you're supposed to cross this log here. Instead of crossing the log, just drop down on the other side that you climbed up from and you will find the gold frog. Next treasure, after a gunfight in this plaza here, you have to climb up here. You're supposed to jump that way to continue, but if instead you take a left and follow the arches all the way around, and then go to the left side of this platform, you will find the intricate gold ring. The next treasure we're going for, after a brief gunfight in this courtyard here, you will climb up here and you're supposed to jump that way to continue the game. Once again, go the opposite direction and follow the path to the left. You will find yourself the patterned silver ring. Once you reach this location here, there'll be a little bit of a gunfight. You're supposed to go to the right to continue the game, so just like in most games with collectibles, head to the left and up the hill, and just in the corner here, you will find yourself the golden jaguar. Next treasure we're going for, once you reach this point here where you're supposed to run up this and jump to grab that log, instead drop down and in the back right hand corner, you will find the silver Inca vessel. For the next treasure, once pirates blow open this doorway for you. Just head through it, and immediately on the right will be the golden toothpick. For the next treasure, once you reach this area here, before or after you kill the pirates that are over there, head towards the keep there in the distance and stick close to the edge of the cliff. And just behind this little rock here is the silver bird vessel. The next treasure, after a few fights and some booby traps, you will come to this area here where you're supposed to go forward there and climb that very climbable wall there. Before you do that though, hang a left and follow this little path up behind the rocks, up onto this platform here where some enemies spawn on. And mixed in with all the trees is the silver Inca earring. Next treasure in chapter 5 is actually the strange relic, which is technically a bonus treasure. Since in the treasure menu there's only 60 treasures listed, but the strange relic makes it 61. Once you get into this courtyard here, have a gunfight, climb up here, fight a few more guys. Instead of continuing on to the right like you're supposed to, take a left. And once you hit the wall here, hang another left and try and make the jump. That will probably happen to you. I don't think I've ever actually made that jump clean. And immediately on the left, once you get up, is the strange relic, which, if you don't know, is a precursor orb from the Jak and Daxter series. Next one, in basically the same area, as you make your way right, instead of dropping down there where the game wants you to, head to the left and actually climb over all of this broken wall here. And once you get to this little lookout tower, head inside to find yourself the Silver Jaguar. Once you drop down onto the rubble here, you'll find yourself in this courtyard here with the stairs that you're supposed to go up. But on the rubble that you drop down on, if you go in behind it all the way, you will find yourself the gold mosaic Inca earring. Next treasure, just a little bit further ahead, once you find yourself running through the flooded hallway here, take a right and climb into this room. There will be one guy to deal with upstairs. After you deal with him, just go past the stairs, and in behind these crates, you will find the golden spoon. The next treasure, fairly early on in Chapter 6, once Nate points out that tower to you in a cutscene and you have a small gunfight, you'll climb up the ramparts and you'll run past this white tree here. What you need to do to get the treasure is just jump up onto the ramparts there, and around the white tree is the silver Inca mask. Next treasure, a little bit further along, you'll find yourself in this courtyard here with another gunfight, including a turret that's up there. Once you've cleared them all out, run all the way to the other side of the courtyard here, to this gate, and climb the rubble to the left of it. And just up on this little platform, you will find the Spanish silver coin. Alright, for the next treasure, after you've went up and over where the turret was, and you climb down a bunch of stairs, you'll drop down, and then go down another flight, and you'll reach this gate here. Turn around, and to the right of the stairs, or left of the stairs, is the silver Tairona pendant. Later on in the chapter, you'll come to this point here. You're supposed to climb up those ledges above Drake, and go to the right to continue the game. Instead, run to the left in between these two green, weird-looking trees, and over all this rubble, and in the back of it, you will find the gold llama. Next treasure, at the beginning of Chapter 8, there are none in Chapter 7. You'll enter this area here and have a shootout with a bunch of guys. Straight from the entrance, walk in, take your first right, and just around the pillar next to a pile of rubble is the decorated silver ring. The next treasure and last one, second and last one in Chapter 8, is once you reach this area here, there'll be pretty big gunfight. This is quite a bit further into the chapter. You'll have a big gunfight here. It'll carry over into this building here. What you want to do is hang a right and jump over this little wall, and in the corner will be a silver frog. Next treasure in Chapter 9, quite a ways into the chapter, you'll come across this gate here and have a huge gunfight spanning about 3 courtyards. But once you reach this one, you're supposed to enter this building here. Instead, take a left, don't jump over that, and in this corner here will be a golden fish charm. Next treasure at the very end of Chapter 9, or the very beginning of Chapter 10, because it's literally the same spot. You're supposed to open up this door here, shoot the lock off of it. Before you do that, just head into the corner away from the stairs, and you will find a jeweled golden brooch. The next treasure, just a little ways into chapter 10. It's actually the only treasure in chapter 10. You'll come to this room here. You're supposed to climb the stairs, turn that chain, and open up the door and go to the right. Instead, if you take a left here, there'll be a bad guy up here, so odds are you'll find yourself up here anyway. And just continue along the path through the doorway. In the corner, there'll be your treasure. Now you can also climb up the stairs from the entrance. You enter this room through that doorway right there. So if you climb up these stairs, you can just circle around. It's also a way to get the drop on the guy up here, but it's up to you which way you want to go. Either way, in the corner is your silver belt buckle. Next treasure, a little ways into chapter 11, and not long after a cutscene, you'll find yourself in a fight at this stairway here. To continue the game, you go to the left, but for the treasure, you take a right. And just in the corner at the top, you'll find a Spanish gold coin. Not long after the last treasure, you'll find yourself coming to another staircase that's split. You're supposed to go right up the other side to continue it, but instead take a left and go all the way down. Then take another left and go in behind the staircase to find a silver Spanish chalice. Not very long after that, you'll find yourself in this cave here and have to take out two guys. Before going up the staircase and continuing the game, just head straight ahead behind the boxes to find a gold coatamundi. No treasures in chapter 12, but in chapter 13, almost right at the beginning, after your first gunfight, you'll come to this bridge here. Before you go across it, hang a left and jump over right next to this pillar here. And in the little crevice will be a golden turtle. Not too long after the last treasure, you'll have a cutscene and find yourself here at these stairs. Before going up them to continue the game, head to the right and drop down into the river, and on top of the rocks there will be a silver Inca cup. Later on in the chapter, you'll find yourself needing to blow up these barrels here to progress. Before you do that, looking at them, take a right and head into the small room that's there, and behind the rubble is a jeweled silver cross. Next treasure, as you reach this courtyard here, you will have a huge fight. It's the first time where you encounter snipers, not the Desert Eagle laser sight guys, but actual snipers. At the entrance where you first come in, if you hop over the railing and just follow the little path around, you will find, there it is, a silver toothpick. From the last treasure, which was up there at the entrance, coming out of the entrance, you'd want to take a left and pass by this set of stairs here, and then if you just continue around and stay left as much as possible, when you reach the dead end, you will find a gold Spanish chalice. From the last treasure, turn around and stick to the left-hand wall. You know they say the best way to find your way out of a maze is to just follow the left-hand wall. Same for finding treasures in Uncharted, it seems, at least in the open areas. So continue on until you go up those stairs there, and then you'll want to take a left. During the fight, there will be enemies who come out of here that you'll have to take care of, and then stick to the left, and underneath all this rock overhang is a silver coatamundi. The last treasure of this chapter, you'll find yourself in this room here, and Elena will be holding the torch for you. You enter from this door here, go straight across, and take a left, and in this last alcove, you will find the golden cup and cover. Next treasure, at the very beginning of the next chapter, you'll come down into this tomb here. Before you actually go down the stairs, jump up on the ledge to your right to find the golden Inca vessel. Not too much further into the chapter, you'll find yourself at these stairs here to the right of the waterfall. And before you go up them, as you can probably see, at the base of the waterfall, you will find a golden skull. Not very long after the last treasure, you'll find yourself in this church here. Monastery, maybe? I don't know. Either way. From where you enter it, do a complete 180, and on top of all the rocks, you'll find a silver snuff box. After solving the puzzle in the monastery, you'll end up going down a hole, and once you find yourself in this room, you might have to deal with the guys who spawn in the next room. But on your left, you drop down in here, come out, immediately on your left is this big sarcophagus. You go around the back side of it and you'll find a silver Spanish goblet. After the next cutscene, you'll find yourself going down these steps to go through this doorway. Before you do that though, take a right and go behind the stairs. to find a silver ingot. Not very long after that treasure, you'll come across this door here that you need to turn the winch to open. Before you do that, just to the left of the winch in the little alcove is a golden ruby Inca mask. Right after the last treasure at the beginning of the next chapter, you'll see a set of stairs ahead of you. Go just to the right of the stairs, in between them and this tree, and you'll find a gold Inca figurine. Next treasure, a little later on in the chapter, you'll come to this doorway here that you need to proceed through with the little wooden platform on the other side and a jump. Before you do the jump, take a left from facing the doorway, and all the way at the edge of the little balcony here, you will find a golden bird vessel. Not very long after the last one, you will find yourself in this room here with two guys coming out of a side room. After you take care of them, look in the room that they came out of to find yourself a golden Spanish goblet. After you solve the puzzle, that's after the last treasure, you'll find yourself facing this window here and a bunch of other ones like it. Head to your right from where you come in, down the little hallway to the dead end, and you'll find a jeweled golden cross. Shortly after the last treasure, you will have a cutscene after you get into this area here and fight off the mercenaries that are here. From where you enter from, go down the stairs and then just go straight across to this tomb here and the wall. Once you hit the wall, go in behind the tomb and find a silver skull. Next treasure, after another little scuffle, you're supposed to go through that door to continue the story. Before you do that, go to the right of it, and in behind this tombstone, you will find the golden Inca mask. Next treasure, in the next chapter, you'll find yourself in this large room here. You're supposed to jump across this to advance, but before you do that, continue straight ahead and hang a right to where Elena's hanging out, and just follow the stairs and the pathway here for a bit. And eventually you'll come to a dead end in front of a plate with the Roman numeral 6, and a silver cup and cover will be yours. Next treasure, a little further along, you're expected to jump to where those braziers are swinging, but instead, if you jump to the left of it and up onto this wooden walkway, at the end of it, you will net yourself a jeweled silver brooch. Next treasure, quite a ways later, you'll find yourself in a bunch of gunfights leading all around this place, and once you hit these stairs here with the 7 going down and the 1 pointing at the gated off area and then the 7 going to the right, as you're going down the stairs, if you look to the right, you can see the treasure on there. Now the way you get to it is you just mash the X button as you go over the railing, and he will jump automatically as soon as he hits the top to get the gold snuff box. Unfortunately, the jump back is insanely hard, and I never once managed to make it, so. Alright, quite a ways later, and a little bit into the next chapter, you'll come across this room here. You're trying to make your way to a generator room. So when you leave this room to go the way that you're supposed to, there's going to be a bunch of guys to fight. You're supposed to take a left here to continue on, but if instead you take a right and deal with 1 or 2 more guys that pop out, and once you hit the next dead end, take another left. In this pile of rubble, you will find the gold monkey figurine, which is the one and only treasure for this chapter. Next treasure, quite a ways away from the last one, well into the next chapter. You'll come to this area here. There's a lot of gunfights up to this area, and there's no exception. There's a bunch of guys to kill in this area. Now, you might be able to get this one without having to clear everyone out. Obviously, for the purposes of the guide, I just cleared everyone out. And I would highly recommend, if you're not going for the collectible, to just run through this area. You can dodge everyone just fine. But once you reach this area here, it is the second time that there will be a sniper. He'll be up there tracking you. You have these 2 crates up against the wall here on your left as you come into the area, and if you climb on top of them, you'll find a golden sea dragon pendant. Not very long after the last treasure, but still into the next chapter technically, right at the beginning, you'll find yourself in this position here. Before you go forward and advance, take a right and head around the hole that you climbed out of, and over in the corner here will be a gold ingot. Very early on in the next chapter, you'll come across this room here with, it's a pretty long room, it has 2 tombs on either side. As soon as you enter the room, if you go to the right side, you will find a golden skull rosary. Immediately after the last treasure, you will go down a set of steps, and you're supposed to go for a full U-turn to go down more to progress. Instead of doing that, check out the back side of the lone pillar in the room to get your sapphire and silver mask, which is the final treasure of Uncharted 1. 61 out of 60. It's 60 treasures and the strange relic, which for some reason they count as a separate thing, but whatever. This will net you all the collectible trophies that there are. The only caveat is you can't do it in Explorer mode, but that shit's fine. You can't do anything in Explorer mode in the first 3 Uncharted. So hopefully this has been helpful. And if you need help in the other games, I will have guides up for them as well. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.